Hello, for those of you who are first time joining the ID Talks, we are very happy to have you on board and welcome. My name is Anna. I am the facilitator of the series of ID Talks. ID Talks are 5 independently organized inspirational talks on the topics around a global major theme of inclusion and diversity. And every time we are inviting people with inspiring practices, with interesting know how, experts in the field to share their opinions, to share their know-how with our participants that are, due to the digital format of our event, coming from not only within Europe but beyond. So we are very happy to welcome you all here. Today, ID Talks Entrepreneurship. We have invited Areg Tadevosyan. I would say, because we share the same country, one of the godfathers of a non-formal education, intercultural learning, and youth policy in Armenia, a person with about 30 years of experience in these fields, and a person that has opened up the new field of social entrepreneurship, linking it a lot to existing youth work practices in the country. I think Areg could present himself better, but I feel very honored and happy to be hosting you today. So, dear friends, please welcome Areg, and Areg, you have now the floor.
Thank you very much. Godfather. I think I'm wearing the wrong suit, I should wear something with more formal. Okay, thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, guys, from Salto Inclusion and Diversity. It's a big honor for me. I was sharing with the guys recently that this is one of my favorite Salto resource centers, and I'm always inspired with the great job that you are doing. So I'll use this chance to once again, to share with the guys that this is an amazing organization which is organizing these talks. And Anna have told that I'm supposed to inspire. That's a challenging task, like inspiring people, but I think I will manage because I am myself quite inspired with this topic. And I think this is the only solution. You can be a really good speaker, you can be motivational something, but if you are not inspired yourself, then I think you cannot inspire the others as well. And I'm inspired with the possibility as well to share it with you. Each time it can be a small club, village club from one of the regions of Armenia that will ask me to introduce social entrepreneurship concept. It can be, I don't know, UN something, it can be anything. And in any single situation, I'm really happy with this possibility. Why I'm happy? Because I'm absolutely 100% sure that this is really not one of the important topics, one of the crucial topics for our civilization, actually, and I will explain further why I consider entrepreneurship, new phase of entrepreneurship, a very important topic. And regardless of the topic that it's about general entrepreneurship, I will say that I would rather talk about social entrepreneurship. So this nice new way of entrepreneurship, not very new, but new for many of us, maybe. But I think that this is very important. And why I consider this is very important thing? Because a couple of serious reasons. Maybe not to explain like why it is important. I would rather say like how it become important for me, and it will explain. So it will be self-explanatory why I consider this is important. Because social entrepreneurship is not my favorite topic. Like I am interested in several topics, several, and my biggest passion is intercultural learning, intercultural dialogue, as Anna have noticed quite well, and youth work and youth policy. So these are my passions of my life. But recently, I find myself in a situation when big pile of my time and energy I dedicate to social entrepreneurship. It was surprising to me as well. Like I know that this is not my favorite topic. Like why the hell I'm spending a lot of time on this? Huh? And I realized that it has a reason, and I want to share this reason with you. because we were doing a lot of work in especially international activities, international cooperation, intercultural learning, intercultural dialogue. And once we realized that it's not fair, you know, that everything is happening in Yerevan, in the capital of Armenia, and in the regions, there is almost very few things were happening on intercultural level. And we said, no, that is not okay. We should be inclusive. We should go and work there. We should realize our activities there and should help people to do something there. We went there to start international cooperation with the regions, and we got stuck with community development. We understood that the situation is not that developed that we can immediately jump to international cooperation projects, because first you need to understand what is project, then what is organization, then what is community, then what is mobilization, then what is resources, fundraising, and everything. So we got stuck in community development, and it was very encouraging, very inspiring experience for us, because we understood that we live in parallel realities. You know, when you live in a big city and when you are going to a village or a small city, even in your country, then you realize that you live in different realities, and somehow it's amazing experience. On the other hand, it's scary experience, because you understand that in the same place you live in different realities. And then we understood that we somehow need to join these realities, and we understood that we're very small and weak for this. Our organization is not that small and weak, but still we understood that we are not able to solve this. We just really have a look on the possibilities of donor community finances. We have a look on local self-government possibilities. We have a look on government programs. We understand that it is not solvable, you know. We can do some stuff, but it's not solvable because the resources which are available and schemes are not adequate. We cannot match. When we're having a look on the need and the possibilities, it's not fitting. You know, you realize that you are doing something good, but you're not managed. And at this very moment, we receive a message from universe, I don't know, and we've heard that there is something like this, which is called social entrepreneurship. And it was a perfect match, you know, this feeling of unworthiness of not managing, and this concept which come and say that, you know, it's possible, you know, it's possible to do something sustainable, not to go and beg money for some stuff. Yeah, you know, there is a water issue, electricity issue in this village, or there is no youth club or stuff. Please, some donors, give me some money. But to rather create some sustainable solutions on the spot. It was something, you know, like I say, come on, like it's not possible, you know, like first thing that came to my mind, it's not possible. But then I realized, and we investigated, that it's done already. It's done several years in different countries, and very serious challenges are solved. Very serious challenges are solved, and sustainable solutions are found for them. And we understood that we come across to something very important. And from this stage on, we're into this topic. The last 5 years, we exclusively dedicate to the education of social entrepreneurship, because we understood that, you know, it's something nice, but nobody knows about it. And when people know about it, not necessarily they can do this. So there was a need of serious education background, of educated people on this, education tools on this, and methods on this. Sorry, I will be coughing a couple of times. Fortunately, it's old-fashioned normal cold, not COVID. Anyway, yes, we found this nice new way of economy, and we fell in love with it. And from this point on, I will try a bit of generalizations, not to go to only our experiences, but it's really important for me to state that there are several things, not only in Armenia or in European countries or African countries, everywhere. So this is my impression. Maybe I'm wrong. I wish I'm wrong, actually, that state bodies, international aid communities, they're not managing. So there's such a extreme needs that those which are doing the stuff, they are not managing. And I think we were not the only one that noticed that this, and they also have noticed. And that's why I think when this social, there are two concepts, social entrepreneurship and social impact investment. I will talk about both of them. When they popped up, I realized that a lot of international organizations, including the European Union, which is represented by this Sarto Center, they put this concept in the core of their priorities. So several organizations, UN-based organizations, World Bank, European Union, Council of Europe, a lot of serious big organizations are putting social entrepreneurship into their priorities. And it's important for you, our dear participants, to understand that it is in the priorities already. Yes, of course, like I hope that soon we will not need it, but now we need support from organizations, and these organizations are saying this is something important. And I think because they were also realizing that they are not managing. And now there is a possibility to create some solutions that communities, some groups will create solution schemes which are not only sustainable, but also producing some profit that can be put in other activities as well. So this is kind of a magic, you know, if it's possible, then it's magical and it's solution for everything. This is one one reason. The other one, why I think we should concentrate a bit more on this topic, is because a lot of people on this planet are really fed up with this inhuman phase of biggest part of economic society, you know, business society, inhuman. When like everything is okay, you know, you should minimize your expenses and maximize your profits, and I don't care what is happening. Of course, like especially in some developed countries now, there are more activities to transform business into more responsible schemes, corporate social responsibilities developing quite well. Some different new business schemes are happening now, but unfortunately we should appreciate and we should say that yes, now we live in a countries which were wearing clothes which are possibly produced by slavery usage, you know. We eat something but that maybe it's produced by child labor, and it's really, really very important for us to understand and to accept that some really not possible, some not human practices are now in behind a lot of businesses, and we need to find a solution for this. And I'm very sure that we're already going to this direction because more and more people are paying attention to what is ecological, what is sustainable, what is fair trade, and what is this and that. So people understand that the face of inhuman face should be changing to something human. And here as well, I think social entrepreneurship is one of the possibilities that we can talk about this transformation. So I will try to turn on my presentation as well. I've forgotten that I have one. Yes. When we are starting now to talk about social entrepreneurship, we need to understand where is it, huh? Somehow, where is social entrepreneurship? Then we'll try to understand like what is it? And then we'll go for a couple of examples to understand that it's possible. This is not theoretical understanding of Areg Tadevosyan. Maybe he's absolutely crazy and this is not doable something. And then we'll try to more concentrate on your questions. I hope that we'll manage to do it quite fast because there is a big material, but I hope that we'll manage. So first thing that we need to understand is where to position, like where is social entrepreneurship somehow. And for this, the simplest way to say that if you take two axes, like social impact, like creating something positive, social transformation, and the profit, we can put this two axes, and the regular activities of NGOs, the regular like charity activities, like all the foundations, benevolent activities, everything is falling into the lower corner, where there is a lot of good social impact, but not profit. So they're not profitable, they're spending. So they are doing some good things, but they're spending. So they're not generating profit. And on the upper corner, we see the regular business, which is creating profit. It's profitable, it's bringing money, but in most of the cases, unfortunately, it's not caring a lot about social impact. And there is this green corner, strange one, which is saying, you know, it's possible that I generate profit, good profit, and I also generate social impact. And here I will remember one of the most useful kicks in my life that I received. And I think it will give you as well some insights. When we will have started to realize our first project on social entrepreneurship in Armenia, it was funded by EU, and it was called Community Development through Social Entrepreneurship. We have started this project. We're really like excited with this topic, and we started to share it with a lot of organizations, a lot of ministries, a lot of NGOs, international organizations. And strange enough, when we contacted the Ministry of Territorial Development of Armenia, they have contacted us and said that, you know, you have a setup meeting with the minister. We were not expecting this. You know, we were thinking that maybe some assistant of department head, somebody will accept us and will talk with us. And they said, you know, minister wants to see you. And when we went there, he said, guys, why I'm first meeting you, that I understood that you are not from those regular grant eaters. So I really understand that you want to do something. I've studied the topic. I've started to understand, like, what is this? That this is something amazing. So our territorial development sphere will really benefit a lot of this. But there is a big but. I don't believe you. I don't trust you that it is possible. And he have given us this concrete kick. He said, just go out from here. I'm not going to give you any support at this moment. You have this nice EU grant. Go and prove us that it is possible. If you'll bring at least some 3-4 examples of projects of enterprises that are established and functioning, I will say, okay. And you'll have the full support of our ministry. And this was one of the most important rejections in the life of our organization, because we said, yes, he is correct. Yes, if it's not possible, if it's just a concept, not proven, then maybe we're wrong. Why the hell they should support us? And we said, okay, we'll go and prove it. And we have proven it, and I will share with you the results as well. So this, what I'm saying, is not just a science fiction. It's something workable. And we have proven it in here. It's proven in different countries as well. It's really important to understand, because first you are saying, like, it's a nice thing, you know, you're doing profit and generating social impact. Why the hell not everybody is doing this? Huh? There are some underwater stones, and we'll talk about them as well, I hope, maybe during the questions. But still, let's go ahead. The second issue that we come across when we started to talk with this project was definition. Because it's really, besides why I was sharing the first slide before this one, because you need to understand, where is it? You know, is it the same as charity? Is it the same as regular business? What are the differences? What are the similarities? In business, you know that there is something which is called corporate social responsibility, that the business is earning money and giving part of it to social projects, social transformation. So what is the difference between this one and social entrepreneurship? And it was really important for us to understand where it is positioned, because if you are advocating for changes in support schemes, state support schemes, international, you should be able to explain where is it, like what is the difference with this one and that one. So the first one was this, and the second one was definition. And that's why when guys have asked me to somehow share with you like how we understand what is this, I think this is the most important thing. Because we can share a lot of things, share a lot of concepts with you, but if we don't talk the same language, at least during this talk, if you don't understand what I mean when I'm saying social entrepreneurship, then our dialogue is not a dialogue, but rather a monologue, or maybe several monologues which are going on, because I say something, you understand something else. Huh? So that's why this slide, I think, is really important. And I hope that if we'll manage even only this one, I think we're okay with this. We can stop there and go to the continuation, to the questions, because if at least we'll understand that this is it, you know, after this talk, I can go, and if somebody will ask me what is social entrepreneurship, I can say, I know, this is this, and this. So we started to look for, first we started to look for definitions. And what you do when you don't know something, If you don't know something, you are Googling it. Huh? So we entered Google, we have written definitions of social entrepreneurship, and billions of definitions appeared. Billions, a lot of contradicting definitions. And so far, there are plenty of definitions which are saying, for example, that Apple Corporation is social enterprise because it has changed a lot in the life of millions of people. The others are saying that any NGO is a social enterprise because it's doing something good. The others are saying, no, only this narrow thing, for example, I don't know, something which is dealing only with the issue of disabilities can be called a social enterprise. So there are several definitions. And again, we got lost in it. And we said, okay, we cannot continue like this. Let's do our definition. It's not done all with only with us. It have done merging different type of definitions. But now we have one, and we're happy with this. But again, guys, I'm sharing it with you. I'm very passionate about this definition. It is serving us for some 7 years and quite perfectly. But I'm not attached to this, If after a couple of days, somebody will write me a nicer definition, which is solving more problems, I will say, okay, I'm throwing this away and let's take that one. So again, I'm sharing it with you. This is the best that we have. But don't get attached to this. Maybe it is not functioning in your community. Maybe it's not functioning in your country. Maybe it's not functioning in your head. So do your, but know what it is solving. So our definition sounds like this. And it's starting a bit tautological, sorry for this. But it's starting, it's like this. Social entrepreneurship is an entrepreneurial activity which puts the solution of social problem in the core of this business, if it's business model, and which dedicates most of its profit to positive social transformation and solution of social challenges. So I will decompose it now, because when I'm reading a sentence, you could read it yourself as well. Huh? So I will decompose it into 3 parts. There are 3 major parts in it, and these 3 parts, if we'll understand them, they are giving us a possibility to identify this sphere, to differentiate it from corporate social responsibility, from charity activity, from NGO activity. So we're able to say that this small part is social entrepreneurship. So, and what are these 3 parts? The first one, this is tautological one, is that social entrepreneurship is entrepreneurial type of activity, What we mean, this is business type of activity. If there is no product and there is no service which is sold to the customers, so if this activity of producing a service or product and selling it, generating profit, if it's not there, then this is not social entrepreneurship. With this part, we're getting rid of all the amazing, nice, but not social entrepreneurial activities, which are charities, NGO, grant projects, everything which is only spending but not generating income. So this is the first part. The second part is also very important. The second part is saying which is putting the solution of social issue in the core of its business model. What is the meaning of this part? This means when you are developing your business idea, you are first initiating your business, you are starting this business idea from a social problem. If the social problem, you see this social problem and you are dying, it should be solved. If I will not find a solution for this and business solution of this, remember the first part, then it's not okay. So I will burst, So you are putting not just launching a business which is earning a lot of money, and then with this money doing some good things, but you are putting the solution of social problem in the core of your business model. So even this should not be like this. Even if you are not profitable, you are just earning enough money to sustain your organization. So you are working with 0 profit. Even in this case, your business model is designed on that way that you are solving the social problem. So for example, in my village, I don't know, kids are really having serious problems with soft skills. It's not possible, like they should have. And you are creating a nice non-formal education creative center, which is solving these issues. You are able to pay your trainers, your bills of electricity, and that's it, 0. You don't have profit. This can be a business model that can be considered a possibility. But Should not be like this. You should have a profit and you should find a profitable solution. But just to explain the second part, the solution of social problem is incorporated into the business model. So your business model is functioning and solving the problem itself, not with the money that it earned profit, but itself, the business model functioning and solving. So there were people with disabilities which didn't have a job and they're working here and they received a job. If there is, I don't know, like there are a lot of women in our village which doesn't have possibility to earn money for their families, then I'm inventing something, it's workable. If people don't have really like water to drink in this community, or they're not able to irrigate their fields and to grow something proper, then I'm solving this, and this is solving, the business model itself is solving it. So this is understandable, I hope. So the business model itself is designed on that way that it's through its functioning, it is generating social impact. And here comes the third part. Please forget the previous example when I was saying that the social enterprise could have zero profit. Not at all, not at all. It should be profitable. It should be profitable. It should be quite profitable. And biggest part of this profit, we are saying 50 plus N% of the profit should be directed to the solution of the same problem or some other social problems. Why we put like this? This is really important because we have a lot of opponents in this. A lot of people in Armenia even are saying that this is not fair, you know, like you are doing business and then biggest part of your profit you are giving to the others. Like, what is this? And I can understand these people. When somebody is saying something like this, I'm saying, okay, why do you do social entrepreneurship? Go do normal, regular business with solid corporate social responsibility and give to the people as much as you want. Why we say 50 plus N%? This means majority. So when somebody accepts this, when somebody is accepting this deal, then this person clearly states that social good is more important for me than my personal pocket, my personal needs. I don't say that my personal needs are not important, you know, guys. That's why we didn't say 75%, 100%. There are such cases in other countries which are saying, yes, at least 75. Some people are saying 100%. We said, no, it's important. Somebody is doing enterprise and this guy should have a personal profit as well. But 50 plus, they should state and clearly state, they should pass this filter that the pain of these guys is for me more important than my personal pain. This is the meaning of this 50 plus N% of the profit. And these three parts of our definition are clearly solving our definition issue. If all these are there, then we are able to identify like what is this social enterprise, and we are able to go ahead with this. I would even stop here and take a question, but as this is TED Talk situation, let's but please, if some people have questions at this moment, write it down at least in the chat, because it's really important. If this part is not understood, if this part is not accepted, or you're absolutely disagreeing with this, then the continuation is not making sense. So three parts: entrepreneurial activity, product, service sold, profit generated. Second part, business model itself is solving the social issue. And the third part, biggest part of the profit is going to the same or to other problem. I'm personally putting on me 51% of tax, you know. Some people in Armenia, taxation system is amazing in Armenia, really very, very small taxes, but they are not happy with this. And there are some strange guys which are putting 51% of other tax on them on voluntary basis. There are such people. Okay, let's proceed. This scheme is very simple one, but I think very important to see as well. So how the business model of social enterprise is functioning. I have already noticed that social enterprise is generating some products and services. So a production and sales of some services and products is happening, and immediately the first social impact is generating. You see, some social impact is appearing immediately from products and services, productions and purchase partner. This is the first social impact that we generate during the social enterprise functioning. But when you're earning money, when you're selling your product and services, this is not profit, this is your income. So income is not yours because you have a lot of bills to pay, you know. So from this income, you're paying your taxes, you're paying your expenses, you're buying raw materials. So whatever is needed for functioning and for continuation, you're deducting from this, and then you receive the profit. And from this profit, you are paying your investors. This can be you as well, because you can be also a shareholder of your social enterprise, and you are taking some money for you to go and buy chocolate for your kids. Okay, possible. Or maybe you have an investor. You have invited an investor to pay to put money for your enterprise, and then this guy should receive some dividends. That's okay. Another part of the profit is going as a reinvestment into the social enterprise. And this is really important to understand. The money that we are taking from the profit and putting into the social growth of your social enterprise, development of social enterprise itself, is also in the same chunk of 50 plus N. So you can consider biggest part of it as a social impact generation money. Because when you are increasing your social enterprise, this products and services part is growing, and you receive immediately. You remember that from the first part, we're receiving social impact. So this social impact is growing. We're making it bigger. The first social impact is growing. So that's why reinvestment into the business, most of the reinvestment. Why I'm saying most, not all of it, because maybe you can make a nice fancy office for your organization. I don't know, make golden walls, the Swarovski stones on the walls. It will not change anything in the social impact. But you say, I am reinvesting in my business. No, not that part. The one which is contributing to the growth of the first social impact that I mentioned in the beginning. And then the upper part, from this profit, whatever is remaining, I am investing into the second social impact. So there are two parts from where social impact is generated. One, through functioning of the business model itself, and the second one through the distribution of the profit. So if this scheme will be again understandable for you, it's very simple one. You're very simple and stupid like this. KISS principle is absolutely realized here. So if you see this and you understand this, then you understand why how the social enterprise is functioning. Now, our answer to the Minister of Territorial Development. This is the result of our project. We have realized this project in 2 years. And in 2 years, we have set up and launched 10 social enterprises. About a couple of them, I will say a couple of words, so you will not see the just heads of some people, but you'll understand like what is it. And there are some short descriptions here as well. You will have the presentation afterward. But still, when we're establishing these social enterprises, you know, guys, there is such a nice statistics that 80 to 90% of startups are simply dying. You know, they are not surviving. So very, very small percentage of startups are able to survive. After 3 years, 4 years, if startup is there and it's functioning, they are saying, okay, somehow it survived. Huh? And we were establishing this 10 social enterprises. We were absolutely sure that at least half of it will go away. We were considering that if 4 of them will survive, then we're good. But I don't know. Maybe this was because of this magical kick from the minister. Maybe this was because of we really wanted this to happen. We invested, all of us, you know, all our hearts, souls, everything into this project. The reality is this, that all 10 social enterprises, after 4 or 5 years of this project, they still function in different levels. Some of them are quite successful, some of them are slow still, some of them are still developing, but all of them function and all of them exist till now. It's really very important result, because it's a magic, you know, like we were not expecting something like this, but it's still the reality. So clear answer is given, and now a lot of organizations, a lot of state structures, NGOs, international organizations, they cannot even talk about that. That prove us, because it's proven clearly, and we have concrete examples. Just to give you a couple of examples from this. This one is one of our favorites. It's called Mounting Goods. And this guy was, and he's really super guy. So all of our team is in love with him and his team. He have taken in our project for a couple of years, and until the last day of the last training course, he was not sure what he's going to do. He was changing the business idea all the time. And then finally he come up with this idea that a lot of good things, and that's why it's called mounting goods, are growing in their mountains. You know, a lot of eatable herbs, a lot of tea herbs, a lot of medicinal herbs, a lot of good thing is growing there, and they know about this. They use it, but they use only during the season, you know, and this is very short, you know, a couple of weeks and that's it. That's why they use only for their needs. And he set up a simple stupid business, you know, like it was really simple. He have put a big refrigerator, and he have set up a system how he is taking a lot of guys from their villages to the mountains, collecting all this stuff, bringing it, storing, sorting it out, and distributing to different chains, restaurant chains, supermarket chains, and it worked perfectly. Now he's doing a lot of things. This is not the only thing that he's doing, because, for example, he understood that they are growing only some 3, 4, 5 things in their fields. And people are absolutely 100% sure that nothing else will grow in their fields, because their ancestors, their grandfathers were growing carrot, cabbage, and potatoes. And that's it. Nothing else will grow there. And he decided that he'll prove to them that a lot of other things like broccoli, I don't know, like Chinese cabbage, a lot of different grains, they will absolutely grow on that land, and it's possible to do a lot of other income as well. And he's doing this, like each year he's introducing some 3 new cultivated things. He's starting to cultivate himself, selling it, and when it's proven, he's disseminating to the people in the village. And it's growing and growing and growing. So this is one of the examples that I wanted to share with you. The other one is called Bohem Art Cafe. Again, this is also an amazing team of guys. There is a city which is called Sevan in one of the regions of Armenia, actually one of the most disadvantaged, because the climate is not very good in there. And this city really didn't have almost any normal place for young people to go. And they've developed this idea that we can have an art cafe, which will serve as a local hub of young creative people, craftsmen, artisans, those which are doing nice music, and we'll bring them together and we'll give them possibilities to produce products. For example, there is some nice guys which are doing some crafts, and some artists will bring them together and they will develop some products. We'll find young musicians and we'll organize concerts from them. So now it's functioning quite well. So it's one of the nicest hubs in Armenia, and there are several organizations which are now starting to copy it in the other cities of Armenia as well. It's self-sustainable. It's a small cafe, tea house, and also a cultural hub of these all synergies and cooperations. And one of the, to connect it also with our topic, when I was visiting them, Gohar, which the lady which is established, which have established this place, I was killing her. You know, I was saying, tell me, what is your social impact? With figures, with concrete, say me, what is your social impact? Like, what is the positive thing that you are generating? She was really fed up with me and said, you know, Areg, that a girl with long hair is able to set up a cafe here and to manage this cafe here, and people can come and see that I'm doing this. This is my social impact. And I said, okay, yes, this is one of the big social impacts. So go on, understand what you are doing. You know, you're changing the stereotypes, like gender stereotypes, stereotypes about such a place. It's about the functioning, about everything. We really need to understand like what we are doing. That's why there is one more slide about social impact that is definitely needed. And then I will try to wrap it up. This one, the last one from my examples, is very much similar to what our Artush, Mountain Good Guy, is doing. This was the oldest participants of our training course. He was 60 plus, but participating in the all activities much more actively than a lot of younger guys. So Gohar was 19 years old and he was 60 plus years old. So we had such a nice group, such a diverse group. And this guy he lives in another part of Armenia, again with not a very nice climate, and again everybody was absolutely sure that only potato, cabbage and carrot grow in these regions. And this guy have said, you know, I would prove you that buckwheat can also grow there. And he started to grow buckwheat. He created a cooperative in his village. He received the funding for a processing factory from UNDP, and from us he received the money to extend the network of the people which grow buckwheat. And now he is producing tons and tons of it, and he's working with different organizations in Armenia. And he's saying at least that the quality is much better than the one that they were importing from Russia as well. And now they're growing other grains as well. And it's again enlarging the network of families which are diversifying their activities and increasing their profits. Okay, social impact. Social impact is the core of social enterprise. Social enterprise is starting from social impact. It's doing social impact, it's finishing with social impact. If social impact is not there, then we cannot talk about social enterprise. And here, when we're talking about social impact, we should really understand that it has three major parts. If we'll take out any of them, it will not function. The first one is planning of social impact. We cannot talk about social impact that let's do something good and something good will happen. If we'll talk this language, then we don't have any social impact. This is not the easiest issue. A lot of people are saying, you know, it's not possible to measure social impact. It's immeasurable. It's such a tender, such a tiny, such a complex issue that it's not possible to measure. Not at all, not at all. Now, there are a lot of big organizations, like, for example, Gene Network with its IRIS network, IRIS scheme of indicators of social impact. A lot of serious organizations are doing serious stuff to measure the social impact. But to measure it, you should first plan it. I should have such a social impact. That was, I was killing our Gohar Art Bohem Art Cafe lady and saying, what is your social impact? Because if you're not planning it, if it's not clear for you, then you have a problem. But again, okay, I planned it, but if I will not measure it, imagine I'm not measuring. At the end of the year, I'm sitting and saying, you know, how many guys came to this activity? Like how many projects? 31? No, 34. What was our income? I don't know. Like how much income goes to these families, these ladies, how much there? Let's look in this copybook. It is under the refrigerator. It will not function like this. So concrete measuring scheme and methods are absolutely crucial. After planning, you should constantly measure your social impact. And you should have solid ways, scientifically proven solid ways how you are measuring it. Not according to your intuition, but concrete schemes, how I'm measuring, with which figures, with which methods, with which stakeholders, how I'm doing it constantly. And the last part, you can have amazing social impact. You can measure it perfectly. But if you are not presenting it perfectly, then it's not there. In our life, unfortunately, we live in information society. And one of the rules of marketing is saying if you are not able to present something, you don't have it. You know? So it's really very crucial to present your social impact, to explain how you included different people into your activities. What is the social impact that you receive? What are the major target groups? What concretely, monetary, non-monetary, what you have received from your activities, and you are nicely, visually, graphically nice. That's why I'm really absolutely happy that we have our graphical recorder with us. It's really, really important on understandable way to explain people that This is what happened. And your community should know you. That's why when we're measuring social impact, we are not going to the social enterprise, we're going to their neighbors and saying, do you know that something like this exists? If your neighboring house doesn't know that you exist and you are doing amazing job, then you are not doing anything. So presenting it, visualizing, making it available, making it, bombarding the community, the stakeholders with this. If you are not doing this, then unfortunately you will lose a lot of it. And we strongly encourage that this part will be also very important.
Areg, I want to maybe just because we should be aware of time, and I think this time
20 minutes
our 20
more?
minutes are extending all the possible formats of 20 minutes. I would ask you, because we already have shared the presentation with the participants, maybe to
Mhm.
focus more at this point on the tips. Okay,
Okay.
so this is great
Okay.
to know, but then
Mhm.
me as an activist, as a young person, as an NGO worker, how can I do it? What should I
Mhm.
know? How to do it?
Mhm. Thank you. I asked guys to remind me because I know that I'm not very good relations with the time. That's why I prepared this couple of slides with tips. So I will do these tips and I will do my provocation and we'll pass to the questions. I will be very quick, you know. First, uh, when you are doing social enterprise, forget that it can be poor quality, it can be high price, not at all. Social enterprise should give competitive products. You're entering the same market and your product should have very good quality, very good price, and generate social income, outcome. So if it's not there, you will not manage. So it's really very important not to give you some discounts because you are social enterprise. The second one, it's really important, and I'm not going through this again, to present your social impact. Everybody should know, be aware that you are a nice guy and doing very important things. Again, to remember that social enterprise is a unique creature. It has a unique participatory schemes, ecologically literate, positively influencing the ecological surroundings. So you should have a different way of functioning, and it should be reflected in all the parts of your organization. It's difficult, you know, maybe sometimes you're losing money even on this. You are bringing people, and instead of dictatorship, you are organizing some democratical issues and saying, you know, community, this is also your enterprise, tell me how to do this. It's difficult, but it's important. So different value system is really important here as well. And the last but not least, this is, please pay attention to this tape. A lot of people are going to social entrepreneurship sphere because there are grants for it. They are going for free money. It is disaster. Please forget about this. You should be so much confident about your business idea. You should be clearly sure that this is amazing, super profitable idea, and you don't need any grant for this. You know, you can go and take a loan for this. If this is not there, if you don't have this confidence, then you haven't found your idea still. Call me, some other guys. Feel free to contact, to imagine, to create a new group, to create a new idea, but find it. If it's not profitable yet and you need some experimental money from donors, then don't do it. It's really very important. We are ourselves engaged a lot in grant making, and we're giving grants also for this, but we don't think that this is good. Even sometimes we think that this is even creating some additional problems for people. So forget about free money. You should have really something super nice, and you should be sure that it will be functioning. And a couple of things, a couple of tips to those guys that wants to study social entrepreneurship. A couple of tips for those which are really new to this. First thing, and most important thing, you should understand that this is really not the easiest thing to do, and you should learn a lot, and you should admit that you don't know something, and you need support for this. If you really take this simple, humble approach that I don't know, and please help me with this, there will be plenty of people which will help you with this. I'm absolutely sure, you know, in Armenia, like at least I know some 20 people quite competent that for free help a lot of people. If they really understand that they are able to learn, they appreciate this learning growth process. So, and technically, there are a lot of face-to-face trainings happening all over the world now. There are a lot of excellent online education possibilities. I will, when I will be preparing the material that will be disseminated to you, I will put a couple of examples there. For example, Copenhagen Business School have a very nice social entrepreneurship course. I have taken it myself as well. Mentoring and coaching from expert trainers and social entrepreneurs themselves. This personal support is uncomparable, guys. Just taking part in several training courses, maybe even not that important, and to have, let's say, a couple of hours of work with actual guy which knows what is it. Huh? So this individual support is also really important. And the other one is my suggestion for your individual experience. So the first one was individual support from others. And the other one is individual experience of you in actually functioning social enterprise. Go and volunteer there. Find a nice social enterprise and say, you know, I will pay you to take an internship there and to understand how you're functioning. Because if you'll be in this living situation of functioning enterprise, it's really immense support to your growth and to your understanding of what is real social entrepreneurship. And of course, books, websites, videos, articles, a lot of other support is also available. Why I'm now quite confident in this, because tons of things that I've read and I investigated, talked a lot with the people, done myself a couple of things, because it's important, you know, just not to talk only about things, but also doing things, you know. And last slide. 2 provocations. I'm not going to comment them, just I will name. There are some researchers that are saying that in the future, there will be no regular business. There will be only social enterprise. So all the business, all business in the world will become social entrepreneurship. It's quite provocative, because if we'll have a look on the business now, it's maybe even science fiction, but still some researchers are really researching and saying, you know, it is the situation. And then the second provocation is some of the people are saying that in the future, we will not have regular charities and NGOs, and only social enterprises will be functioning in this social support sphere. I don't believe myself either as to this, but there are some big donors which are already experimenting in this. For example, if I'm not remember, a couple of years ago, the FID was in one region. They said that we will support only social enterprises. All the grants, anything, we are not supporting it. And there is a reason behind this provocation. So I will leave it for you. I will finish here. I'm sorry for taking more time than provided, but that's it. Thank you for your attention, and I will be happy to see your questions.
Yes, maybe at this point, Maria, my colleague, co-facilitator, she could take the floor and summarize a bit what was happening in the chat and what kind of questions we have there.
Yeah, thank you, Anna, and thank you very much, Areg, for the very inspiring talk today. In fact, actually, our talk today has been bombarded by different kind of information, and also 2 questions for you. The one is, can you suggest us any good model of social impact assessment that is available online? And the second question, have you ever heard the pay by result approach? If yes, what do you think about it? Thank
Pardon,
you.
can you repeat the second question?
Yes, of course. The second question is, have you ever heard the pay by result approach?
Pay by
and
result.
If yes, yes. If yes, what do you think about it?
Thank you. The first one, no. I'm sorry for this, guys, but we have investigated a lot. I'm not saying it 100% because we're not those empty self-confident experts which are saying, you know, like, I know everything. Not at all. So maybe there are some stuff that we don't know, but we have studied a lot of things. We have studied the iris. Iris is the best one that so far we've found. I will put it the link in the paper that I'm going to produce. It's produced by a network, Global Impact Investment Network, GIN. And maybe you can find and put in the chat if in the meanwhile. But so Iris is the best one so far that we saw, but now we're developing ours. Now we're developing ours, and we're spending a lot of time, energy, and resources to develop something, because we consider that this is really something very important. We have already developed one small tool, which is about how the social enterprise can approach this topic, how they can self-assess themselves in regards of social impact assessment. So how they can understand where they are standing in social impact assessment themselves as a team. But now we're in the process of developing something new, because so far we don't find something easy thing to take it and to use it for social impact planning, measuring, and presenting. But it's really high demand, and there are serious teams, serious teams which are working in it. Maybe now even there are some solutions already on the shelves. But I am not aware of this type of things. We will share with you what we have, of course, but so far we don't have something that we're absolutely okay with it. About the second one, amazing, yes, I've heard about it because I was giving series of lectures on public policies, and this was something that I found during that times, maybe some 5 years ago, and it was really a super cool thing when, for example, the state have a problem to solve, they identify that there is in community, there is something to be solved, and they don't have a solution. And they're saying, okay, guys, go there and solve it, find a solution. So if the investor and the social entrepreneur with mediation of a structure, which is standing in between state and them, they're finding a solution and then solving it, actually solving and proving that they're able to solve this, then the state is giving money for this. Only after providing a real solution, not like experimenting as usual in all the countries, but just saying, go and solve it yourself. If you'll manage, I will give you the money. It is really, again, sounds like science fiction to different, a lot of people in Armenia as well, because saying, oh, come on, who will be those guys which will go and put their own money to experiment? It's better to go and take some grants for it. But no, it's not working like this. If you are able to believe your idea on that way, that you're able to put your money into this, then percentage of success is increasing. That's why it's really important that to understand that this free money experimenting, grant experimenting, sometimes have really low threshold of success because of this, because there is low risk. It's not your money, it's a grant. You produced a report, great, and I'm back to other project. And in the other case, you're putting your money, investor money, so you should somehow be more active. So yes, this pay for result approach is really a very nice scheme for especially social impact investment solutions, and I think it has a big future.
Thank you very much, Areg, for answering the questions. I am sure we will have more questions. So in a moment, Maria will be sending you to breakout rooms. But in your groups, we want you to discuss your immediate reactions to the talk and come back to the plenary in 10 minutes, bringing either one question or one insight as a group that you have after Areg's input. So 10 minutes time, discuss your immediate reactions and bring back to us from your group one question or one comment. And please make sure you select a spokesperson from your group to speak on your behalf when you come back.
It in the products and services, about the reinvestment, etc. We really like this model of social entrepreneurship. And our question is if maybe you could share, maybe later in the resources, some more detailed examples of successful social entrepreneurship projects. Let's like a bit deeper into explanations how they were successful, how they started, what problems they faced, something like that.
Thank you very much, Maria. We have Mirella from another group lining up, please.
Yes, I will speak for the group of.
Okay, Saad first, then Mirala. Please, Saad.
Okay, yes. So I am Saadet Menali, the president of Brooklyn Mind Association. So about the subject of social entrepreneurship, so there isn't much relationship between the social and also entrepreneurship, but because there is also the politics which it's near to social. So this combination between entrepreneurship and also in social has a huge definition. But for the question that I will ask is there is any support or also a facilitation for the government or also the people has the order and also in each country to facilitate this to create a project in our market and also to help youth people in each country. This is my question.
Thank you very much. So the third group, I have lost count which one is which group, but we have to have one more group out there. So if you have a question or a reaction, people from the last group, please bring it forward now.
Okay, no one talks from room 2. Yeah, so
Elsa?
Okay,
Elisa,
I can read the
please.
question. So our insight was we would like to know more about the possible cooperation between the schools, public sectors, and the social enterprise, and also how to identify a profitable activity and convince to a resistant system to have a financiation.
Amazing questions, Areg. If you could wrap them all up in up to 3 minutes.
Okay.
With having in the back of your mind also the opportunity to address those again in the article you are going to produce afterwards.
I will try. Sorry, guys, I'm not very good in short answers. Okay, about examples of success. I brought 3 examples. Maybe I'll bring one more international, not too stuck with Armenia. There is something which is called Tom Shoes. And I think maybe you have noticed it on your shelves in your countries as well. So there is such a brand, Tom Shoes. And this guy have come up with a very basic idea that in a lot of countries, people don't have shoes to wear, you know. And he have developed a brand that I'm designing shoes, nice shoes, not very expensive ones. And when you are buying one pair of shoes, then another pair goes to somebody which doesn't have it. It is simple model, you know, like, and it's very popular. A lot of people are buying, and they know they buy shoes, nice shoes with nice price for themselves, and another pair goes to other people which doesn't have in that countries there are such problems, you know. And we should not go for really sophisticated, I don't know, solutions. Yeah, very simple ideas can be quite workable. This is something that I will advise you, especially also taking into consideration the experiences that we have with our social enterprises. Not the most complicated ideas are the most successful ideas. About support and facilitation from the government, in different countries, there is absolutely different situations, guys. So I can say what is in a situation in Armenia, but it will not give anything to you because most of you and all of you maybe don't live in Armenia. But a small thing that I want to mention, there are a lot of guys which are saying, you know, the government should give taxation benefits to the social enterprises. The government should give free money to establish social enterprises. Again, with this regard, we're against for support. Against, you know, it's really might seem crazy and stupid, but we're against taxation benefits, for example. We're sure that social enterprise should function in the same environment as the other business. You should not take them from normal business environment and give them benefits, because if you are giving benefits, people are getting relaxed. When they're relaxed, they don't kick their asses, and that's bad, you know, like it's not functioning. That's why we're not very for some benefits from the government. Yes, for example, government is doing purchases. Government itself is buying some stuff from the enterprises. And when there is a social enterprise which is buying something, and there is a regular enterprise which is selling the same thing with comparable same price, then we think that government should buy from the social enterprise. Because when government is spending our taxation money to buy some stuff, when they're buying from social enterprise, they buy both, you know, they buy the products and they contribute to social impact on the so this is double payment and double benefit. So in this regards, yes, there should be some benefits, but we should be really careful with these benefits, not to take the social entrepreneurship from the regular business relations to create them beneficial environment for them, and then to create also risk for corruption. And the last question was really a very nice question, and we are doing a lot in this. There is a lot of projects. So we have, for example, developed a curricula for schools, colleges, and universities to establish laboratories of social entrepreneurship in their institutions, and then to study and to practice the social entrepreneurship. And yes, there is plenty of possibility of public and education and social enterprise as synergies in this regard. And what is good, that it's sustainable something. You know, if you're establishing something that's functioning, then, for example, in the school, you have a school of social enterprise, which is self-sustainable. It is able to sustain this, even to generate some income for solution of the problems of the university or school. So yes, there is a big potential in this. And those which will be interested in more details about what we have done with this, unfortunately in this streaming it's not possible to explain all of it, but there is already some good examples, not only in Armenia but other countries as well. And this is, yes, a sphere with great potential.
Well, one more time, Areg will be producing a paper, an article after this talk, and within this article, we will be taking into account also today's discussions and your interest and the questions that came in. To close today, we have this most exciting moment of our ID Talks when we give the floor to Olaja, our graphic recorder, to show a bit what she captured and to share with us her work. Please, Olaja, you have the floor now.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me well. And thank you, Areg, for such an inspiring talk. And there is definitely a lot that could be put in the visual, but just in a very briefly manner, I will show you. Okay, here you should be seeing it. You can pin it so you will see it a bit in a larger format. The quality is not the best right now, but you will receive this visual also at the end in the final format, also with the question and answers results.
So maybe just set up as a speaker view, yeah? Everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you for that, Maria. Yeah, speaker view, and then it will be bigger so you can see a bit better. So yeah, very briefly, we started this journey today with Areg, talking about why social entrepreneurship is so important, the fact that it connects realities and communities and creates empowerment and also creates sustainable solutions. Then we had some stories, some anecdotes and experiences, and then followed by the definition of social entrepreneurship. I think it's a bit slow, right? Should I maybe not move it? I think my laptop is not reacting so well.
It's quite okay, Olaja.
It's okay.
Okay, for me it's a bit slower, so I don't want to make you dizzy with moving so much. I hope it's good like this. So then, yeah, so I was saying the definition in 3 different parts with 3 different elements. Then also these beautiful examples from Armenia. We discovered 3 out of the 20 social enterprises that were developed and that still exist and grow. And then these 3 elements or 3 steps of social entrepreneurship that are super important: the planning, the measuring, the presenting the results, and the impact that you actually create with your business idea and business project. Then we had a few tips also for social entrepreneurs, things that you should keep in mind. And the best thing for me are these 2 quotes. This is definitely what makes the talk of today. It's that if you're not inspired, you cannot inspire others. And this is for me the biggest takeout of today's ID talk. So thank you for that, Areg. It was really nice.
Thank you very much, Olaja. I would remind our participants and also the viewers of our talk that the graphics will also be available on the social media channels of Salto Inclusion and Diversity. We are slowly but surely and exactly on time being able to close today's ID talk. It was a treat to have you with us, Areg. If you want to say a couple of final words to inspire us again, please. And after that, of course, you are free to go and take these ideas on, pass it on, and make greater impact of your work. Areg, you have the floor for final words.
Thank you very much. At first, thank you for this amazing graphical presentation. This is my favorite part as well. I will say a couple of strange words. Strange. Recently, during most of the training courses that I'm leading, most of the talks that I'm doing, I'm spending a lot of time and energy convincing people not to do social entrepreneurship. I'm meeting several startup groups, several people which wants to do social entrepreneurship, which thinks that they want to do social entrepreneurship. I'm talking to them a couple of words, and I really understand that they're amazing team of startup, really great idea, but they don't want to be a social enterprise. They want to be normal, regular enterprise with a normal, responsible approach, corporate social responsibility, and I'm convincing them not to take this burden on you. So this is really something very important, guys. Really, if you want to work with this topic, be careful with it. Don't take it because it's senseless. You know, if you really are not 100% sure that 50+% of your motivation, inspiration is for those people out of you, that you really are 100% sure that most of the result that you are going to produce in your life, and this is hard work, entrepreneurship is hard thing, you are eager to give it to these people and you don't have doubts about this, only in this case go to social entrepreneurship. Because I don't want to say that regular business is something bad. It's amazing thing. I don't want to say that corporate social responsibility is old-fashioned something. No, it's amazing, super cool thing. So if you'll be approaching this topic, approach it really carefully. Make sure that really like your biggest motivation is for those guys. You have, I have, all of us have a lot of problems, a lot of needs, a lot of shortcomings, a lot. We live in a really difficult times as well with this COVID and everything, you know, like it's not really easy situation. And if you should be really sure that those guys' needs are more important for you than your needs, then you'll be successful in social entrepreneurship. Otherwise, it will be senseless expenditure of your energy, which you could spend on really nice business, which is creating jobs for people, which is responsible, which is giving, you know, like, for example, you can be a stupid social enterprise, which is earning $100 and giving $51 to good things. And you can be amazing, not social enterprise business, which is earning billions and giving 0.1% of your income to solution of social issues and make a good job, you know, like make good social impact. That's why, sorry for this, but I had to, you know, I have to be frank with you. This is really important for me. As I said about inspiration, the same is about frankness. We should be really frank with us and with the others. And social entrepreneurship is a very hard and frank topic to tackle. So this is my final words to you. And I wish, and I'm sure that these amazing guys, there's a lot of them in this universe, these social entrepreneurs. And I'm honored to meet all of them. And you know, like each of them that I know, I really honor this moment that I have the honor to meet them and to have a communication with them. And they exist. This is good to know, you know. And they are doing amazing job. They're somehow a new face of economy. That's why each of them is invaluable something. And you know, any governmental schemes, any donor agency, any millions, billions, trillions of euros are not comparable with one single guy which is saying, you know, I'm going and doing this. I'm putting my needs second place, not throwing them away, but putting second place, and your needs, this guy's needs, the first place. This is a miracle, and I that's why I appreciate this very much. That's why I appreciate this topic, and thank you very much once again for creating this possibility to share with the guys with these approaches.
Thanks a lot, and goodbye. See you at the next editions of ID Talks. Thank you, Areg. Thank you, everybody, for being here.